Yeah, guys. So from head trauma and ultimate death to perhaps the most famous use of a head.
Oh,
Sorry,
whoa.
famous use of a head in football. Photo number 5 is 2006 FIFA World Cup Final. We've got a lot of FIFA World Cup Finals in here. It was Zinedine Zidane's headbutt on Marco Materazzi.
If there was ever a time I wanted one of the GOATs to show a level of composure, was this moment.
Do you know what's funny about that? I was in grade 6. I still remember watching it because like on the build up, it was when the games happening. You don't actually see it happening.
Yeah.
You sort of watching it. It was one of those ones where like you're waiting for it to get to penalties and like it's a bit of a lull in the game and I just remember you hear the commentator going. My old man had gone to the kitchen and is just like, okay, cool, like making him coffee. Like he comes back and he goes, I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, I think Zidane just got a red card. And then he's like, for what? I'm like, no one knew. And then you look back and you're like, oh, he headbutted him. Because also, like I said, you just seem so random. Like, there's no like, there was like much niggle in the game. Or like, there was like, you just like one moment, then he's headbutted him and he walks past him. And then there's another picture from this video when he walks past the World Cup.
I was going to say that probably it's the most second
I mean,
iconic.
that was his last, his last ever game.
That's how he bowed out of international football.
Yeah.
So, okay, there's a couple of things that lead up to this. Firstly, as you say, Zinedine Zidane was the mercurial best. He really was. It was so weird watching him. It's like he had more time than everyone else.
Yeah.
100%.
He really was quite something. And the Italians, when they were watching the matches going into the final, because they were there, and they were hoping to get Brazil, or basically anybody other than France, because Zidane was that good. And Materazzi and his fellow defenders were cucking themselves, rightfully, about this. Okay, so the game starts out. It's like any other World Cup final. It's really big stakes. Everyone's a little bit nervous. Materazzi gives away the penalty. Dubious call. It was a bit touch and go. Zidane steps up
Panenka.
with the most audacious Panenka ever
In
a final. And what Materazzi said is that it was very clear the way he took that penalty, his intentions for that game. He wanted to make it about his greatest performance, and he wanted to bow out a legend, which was amazing. Yeah. And then as the game wore on, Materazzi actually came back and redeemed himself by scoring the equalizer.
Oh, he scored the header.
Yeah, he scored the header
over
Patrick Vieira. He was known for his aerial prowess. And he was also known at the time for saluting the sky because he lost his mom when he was 15. I'll tell you, that's going to come back in a bit of a story. He lost his mom when he was 15, and he really felt in that moment that she was with him. So it was a very emotional moment for Materazzi as well, because then it was back to level pegging. Then it got into the business end of things, right? And Zidane was firing. There was a guy who wanted to close the game out. And Materazzi's teammate, Rino Gattuso, he couldn't mark Zidane. He was like, fuck this. Like, just
Gattuso.
He was struggling. Yeah. He was absolutely struggling. So he said to Materazzi, look, I'm having a fucking cuck time here. Please mark Zidane. So he did. He applied himself to it to the point where he was tugging shirts. He was doing whatever he could. So then Zidane said to him, because he's all over him, went into the box, then goalkeeper got the ball. As they're running out of the box, Zidane said to Materazzi, if you want my shirt that badly, just ask me after the game. To which Materazzi back, like a full-on banter, said, I'd rather have your sister.
Oh.
And that's where the trouble started. So what Materazzi thought was some playful banter amongst Oaks.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good line, to be honest.
Yeah, to be 100%.
I'd rather have your sister. Yeah. It's playful. Didn't mean anything by it. But what happened the day of the final was that Zidane's mom was really ill. Yeah. And he was chatting to his sister throughout the day because the sister was with the mom, the poorly mom. And clearly it was a wrong time to bring up anyone in Zidane's family.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, right? Now Zidane is fucking triggered. He is now ready to fucking go. And out of nowhere, there was a fellow defender on the field said, I didn't see it, but I heard it. The whole headbutt on the chest thing. The thing is, nobody else saw it, Cooks. It wasn't just your dad who missed it. Your dad saw as much as the referee.
Because we were following the ball at that time,
So Materazzi hits the deck. Something's happened to the Oak. And back in those days, there was no VAR. The cameras weren't that great. But the fourth official on the day apparently saw it on the monitor. So Materazzi's on the ground. The linesman didn't see anything. The referee didn't see anything. But there's a guy on the ground, right? Now the crowds are fucking cheering. Everyone's going off. The replay comes back. And now we see what's happened. But because the fourth official said, yes, I saw it, he then stopped the play to flag it. And as we know from there, Zidane got sent off. But true to the nature of the man, have you ever seen a more charismatic form of violence?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, I'm leaving with something. That's
You know,
what he said.
like you see the push, you see a punch, but just like a headbutt. And the thing is, and calculate on the chest, like even go for his face. Like, I'm not gonna break your nose. I'm trying to break your sternum, basically.
But just, I mean, if you got to be watching the show on like visually to get the most out of this. But look at his post-impact pose.
He went through. And that's Materazzi's not a small guy, guys.
He hit him, and Materazzi, like, you expect a guy to maybe like flip you in the balls or maybe like push you or whatever. You don't expect a fucking forehead to the sternum.
No.
But look at his weight distribution.
Yeah.
Look how poised he is. And like a guy who grew up rough, look at his right hand. It's clenched.
No, he's ready.
Just in case the headbutt didn't work first, it's like he's ready for.
Exactly, he's ready. And this again, guys, as you pointed out, this was his last act in international football as a professional.
Yeah.
So the aftermath of this picture is quite interesting. Obviously, they go on to the penalty shootout. Zidane's not there to take it. Materazzi takes his penalty. He gets it.
Yeah.
Italy win 2006 World Cup champions.
All she wrote.
The aftermath of this picture is almost better than the whole thing. So Materazzi is then labeled by all these newspapers as being a racist, antagonizing Zidane's mom.
Yeah.
All these kind of slurs come out about how he targeted Zidane and incited the violence here. So he took them all to court, and he managed to win libel cases against all those trashy tabloids in the US. Sorry, in the UK.
Shout out to him.
He also said at the time, it's like, I would never insult someone's mother. Because he lost his mom when he was 15,
Exactly.
that was very sacred for him. So he would never have ever in his whole life have been so disrespectful to another person's mother. It was a pure bit of banter around a sister. It was a sister joke, poorly timed. Materazzi got a 2-match suspension on the back of that. Zidane got 3 days of community service because he'd retired.
He's like,
It's so wild for Materazzi. How do I get suspended?
why
after
am I
got
getting it?
headbutted?
I'm the victim here.
Guys, it gets worse. He had post-World Cup, because he had not seen his family, the Oak had planned an entire trip to Euro Disney in Paris.
They were like, we don't want you, bro.
No, bro, don't go out in public in France right now.
It's not the time for you to be going to Euro Disney.
So this poor guy spent the next 2 years of his life as the guy who got headbutted, and he was the victim here, but he was the villain. Everyone hated him. Then they actually made a statue of the whole thing.
Oh, that is news to me. I never knew that they made a statue.
So they made a statue, and the picture we're showing you here is the Qatar World Cup. It was put out in a fan area.
Qatar got money to play with, but that's crazy.
But now it's part of some FIFA memorabilia. But look how big the statue is. Look at the guys below it.
Yeah.
So it'll always be immortalized as the greatest headbutt, I think, in any sport. And then Sepp Blatter actually wanted to use it as a PR stunt to pre-2010. So obviously coming to South Africa, Sepp Blatter had this idea. I shit you not. He had this great idea because they didn't make up or anything. There wasn't any public exchange of no worries, mate, in the heat of the battle thing. Sepp Blatter said the two of them should go to Robben Island in the build-up to 2010 FIFA World Cup.
Of course.
Don't drag Nelson into this now.
What else are you going to do with all of this stuff?
I shit you not. This was Sepp Blatter's major idea of reconciliation pre-2010 World Cup.
I feel him, though.
It didn't happen.
I feel him. It would have been great for football. I feel it.
City doesn't win it itself for 27 minutes.
Yeah,
as opposed to 27 years. Just sit there.
Just the two of them sitting there together, just arm in arm. Yeah. So apparently, there was a sort of coming together. Materazzi really wanted to shake his hand, look him in the eye, and for him, he was over it. He was really sorry. Apparently, Zidane not so much.
Well, I mean, I've seen him in interviews saying he regrets nothing. Zidane saying so I'll do it again if needs be.
Zidane, ultimate competitor, but what's crazy is that it never diminished Zidane's legacy.
Which is kind of weird because
that's how goat you got to be.
That's how
to do those craziness.
Well said. That's how goat you got to be. That your last act in football
is this in a World Cup final.
And everyone almost celebrates that, with Materazzi. Then
talk about my mother one more time. I dare you.
Yeah, so now we can clear it up. Mothers were not used, but the biggest takeout here is that was actually the first VAR situation in the world.
I mean, the England guys must be so upset about that they could get one. And that's the one they chose.
But also, I would love to be like at the stadium seeing that, because it's other things like, you know, you're watching a live game, certain things you pick up, certain things that maybe like you something catches your eye, like when you're like, you're like looking and you go like, bro, I just think Zidane headbutted this. It was like, no, you're lying. I'm like, I promise you. like
that's what this red card's going.
He floored him with a headbutt. It was absolute box office. It really was. And maybe some people will say it's karma, but Italy didn't even make it to the next World Cup.
Karma.
They didn't even they weren't even in 2010.
Yeah, I think it's definitely is karma.
I don't understand how that worked, but I remember that being a thing. All right, next photo.
To watch this full episode, click here. To watch previous episodes of the On the Bounce show, click here. Or catch us every Thursday on the Real Network from 4 p.m. SA time.